I'd like to introduce Dennis, WU6X, and Dennis is going to give us an update on field day. Dennis, it's yours.
Well, good evening, everybody. Here's the big field day recap. And we had a really great field day this year. And I just put a couple of names up here that were involved helping to get organized. But of course, there was many, many more people involved. And this year, there we go. Every year we have challenges. I think this year, in my mind, I saw that there wasn't any challenges that I really saw. Whoops. Everything was well planned, well executed. There were no, stargazers to get in our way this year. All the antennas and coax and filters and triplexes and all that worked just fine. It was just a great time. Plenty of good food, good cooks. And I think what I saw that really helped it to go smoothly is that when everybody got there, we had a meeting, we broke up into teams, and each team had a specific task, whether it was antennas of a certain flavor or putting up a station or whatever. It just went very, very well. So I was pleased to see that. Some highlights: we had 25 operators this year, and we had a very interesting educational activity. We'll talk about that in a minute. Food was excellent. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Ellen. DX contacts. New Zealand was our farthest contact, but we actually had Romania and Japan. And we had just great overall participation. I think 70 plus, is that right? Brian, probably. We had 70 plus people, I think.
Over the 3 days, there were 138 that I counted.
Yeah, excellent participation. And we were at Georgetown Airport in El Dorado County. Okay, how'd we do? Well, CW QSOs, they topped the list this year, 787, but phone was very close, not too far behind. Digital, very, very good, for a total of 2,020 contacts total. Now, that's pretty good. That's actually more than we've ever done before. So if we add that to the bonus points, which you'll see in a minute, you're going to see a pretty good score this year. So how'd we do? How are the operators? Well, at Derek, you did it this year. 370 CW contacts. I think they were all CW. We'll go back and look at that. But Jeff, great contribution. 303 contacts. So you were busy. And AI6W, that was a friend that came up with Derek. And then Tim, good effort. And then as you go down the list, these are all people that made more than 10 contacts. So there were 25 operators, but these were the ones that made more than 10. Any questions so far?
I think a big round of applause. Woohoo!
Absolutely. Really good work.
Okay, so bands and modes. So over here on the left-hand side, you see the bands. This is 80 through all the way through the satellites and GOTA. And then across the top here, the band and mode total. So on 80 meters, we made 98. And you can see 20 meters. 20 meters was, all of a sudden my pointer's not working here either. 20 meters turned out to be the top band for making the most contacts, but the rest of the band's no slouch, even 6 meters. I was surprised, 6 meters, 43 contacts, so not bad at all. So if we add all those along the bottom, CW, of course, is 2 times the number of contacts. So if you double that number, that's 1,574 points. Digital, same thing, 2 times the number of contacts, 1,180. Phone, 678. So if you total these 3 numbers up, you come up with 3,432 points. But wait, we get a 2.2 times multiplier. So we made 6,864 points, just contacts alone, just points contacts, no bonuses. So how do we do on bonuses? Well, bonuses, this is the bonus slide. As you can see, the only thing that we didn't get out of the bonuses was visitation by an elected official, but we got everything else. Put that up there for a minute because it's a pretty busy slide, and might want to take a look at. Even got the youth participation here. So if you look at that number and you look at this number, those total up to, oh, but wait, how did we do last year? These are previous years I was able to dig up. So last year we did excellent. This was the total score with the bonuses. And those two numbers I just showed you, this would have been last year, those two numbers. So what's the total? Total QSO points, remember that number was 6,864. The bonus points, remember, was 1935. And that gives us an all-new high final score for SFARC, 8,799 points. Good job, everyone.
Wow. Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see where that puts us in the standings for, the class we ran in, and also for the whole country, for our section. And then so that'll come out, I think November, I think something comes out. Okay. Few people to thank, because there was a lot of people involved this year. Food procurement, cooking, and prep, of course, Jim, Allen, Brian, Lynn, Chip and Pam, IT support, myself and Jim, WA at MPA, band captain, good job, Dave, station managers, campground and generator with Scott, KK7AIR, man, we owe him a great deal of thanks. VE sessions over at the hangar, Scott, Sel, Brian, and Tom. There might have been others involved, but that's the names I got. Antennas, a big group, Jeff, Orion, John, Brian, and many others. And donations and support, of course, Mark and Scott. So, summary, did we have fun? I think so. Did we learn something? Yes, we did. Were we competitive? I think we actually were this year. So we'll see how that turns out. I think overall it was a huge success. I don't know, next year, I don't know. Brian, what do you think? Pony rides? Maybe a Ferris wheel. I don't know.
Dennis, I have a question on our go to contacts. We did have something different this year, and we had we a few newer hams and others come in on GOTA. How did we do on that? We had a 5-time multiplier this year.
Okay, let's see. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the GOTA station was turned out to be 165 points, and we got 100 points for the coach.
Well, thank you, Tom, NN6H, for running that station. That was you had quite a few people hanging out with you, so that was good.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks.
Okay, I think I put up a couple of pictures.
Now, something else, Dennis, also, the scoring's not over because we also have the aggregated scoring.
Oh yeah, there's scores coming in, scores that haven't come in yet from people at home, right? That was a few.
Correct. So this is our club score on location, but then when they publish the scores, they will also show an aggregated score for all club members who participated and then submitted their scoring, indicating that their club is Sierra Foothills ARC.
That's correct. All right, and that those of you that did operate from home, make sure when you upload your score that you select, when you select the club, that you select Sierra Foothills ARC, just like that. Here's a couple of pictures for those of you that weren't able to make it. Oh my gosh.
We got all the food.
Yeah. Now you see Chip is looking down that cannon. I don't think that was a very good idea. Chip, are you there?
Just to be clear, since I was the guy in the hat, that cannon was not charged at that point in time.
Okay. Here's was a part of the group. Many of them had peeled off by that time, but it's a pretty good sizable group right there. A lot of those folks that were involved with setup and food prep and cooking and operating and so on. So that's about it, unless anybody else has any questions.
Dennis, I want to thank you for the wonderful presentation. Really admire your PowerPoint skills. Those are great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.